In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most beneficent. Hello kids, how are you today? Fine, Alhamdulillah. Today we are going to make a revision for what we had studied before during this week. Okay? Okay. Now we come to revision number 1, which will be about lesson Our World Part 1. Pupils book page 48 and 49 and workbook page 45. What do you expect we are going to study today? Or what are the objectives of the lesson? The objectives of the lesson can be shortened in the following points. Number 1, identify 5 new words and phrases through listening correctly. Objective number 2 is to identify the main idea of a short reading text by making use of the pictures accompanied with it. Objective number 3 is to find out some specific information of a short reading text by asking some more comprehension question. Objective number 4 is to read to match the statement to pictures. Okay? Now we come to objective number 1, which is to identify 5 new words through listening. I'm going to look at the pictures and the word is written under it. Be quiet. Throw rubbish. Take photos. Rubbish bin.
Module 4.
Museum.
Our World.
Okay.
1. Vocabulary. Be quiet. Throw rubbish. Take photos. Rubbish bin. Museum.
Very good. After listening to the CD player, I'm going to try to consolidate the new words in your mind by following the strategy of learning by photo. Look at the pictures and try to identify it.
Be quiet.
Be quiet.
Throw rubbish.
Throw rubbish.
Take photos.
Take photos.
Rubbish bin.
Rubbish bin. Museum. Very good. Now we come to do affirmative assessment, workbook page 45, activity number 1. Look and match. Number 1, take photo is answered. Number B. Number 2, throw rubbish in the rubbish bin. 3, museum. 4, be quiet. Have your time. Have you finished? Now let me check your answer. Number 1, B. Number 2, A. Number 3, D. Number 4, C. Now we come to objective number 2, which is to predict the main idea of a short reading text by making use of the pictures accompanied with the text. I want you to look at the pictures and try to answer the following 2 questions. What are the places in the pictures? Very good. Classroom and museum. What do you think the boy is talking about? Yes, he is talking about the rules that should be followed. Okay. From this, we can understand that the main idea of the lesson is to talk about rules that should be followed in certain places. Now listen to the notes to find out in which place you mustn't take photos.
2. Read and answer. In which place mustn't you take photos? Then match the notices 1 to 2 with the places A to B.
Rules, rules, rules. There are rules in the classroom and the places we visit. We must read the rules and follow them. Here are some rules. 1. You must be quiet. You mustn't eat or drink. You mustn't touch. You mustn't take photos. 2. You must listen to your teacher. You must throw rubbish in the rubbish bin. You mustn't talk with your friends when the teacher is talking. You mustn't eat or drink.
Very good. After listening to the CD player, who can tell me in which place we must take photo? A museum or classroom? The right answer is A, museum. Very good. Now we come to objective number 3, which is to find out some specific information of a short reading text. Read the rules once again, then match them with the places and the pictures.
Module 4. Our World. 2. Look at the notices below. What do you think the statements are about? Read and match the notices 1 to 2 with the places A to B.
Rules, rules, rules. There are rules in the classroom and the places we visit. We must read the rules and follow them. Here are some rules. 1. You must be quiet. You mustn't eat or drink. You mustn't touch. You mustn't take photos. 2. You must listen to your teacher. You must throw rubbish in the rubbish bin. You mustn't talk with your friends when the teacher is talking. You mustn't eat or drink.
Very good. Now, who can answer? Picture A, number 2, picture B, number 1. Very good. Now we come to do affirmative assessment. Activity number 3, pupils book page 49. Read the sentences and circle yes or no. Number 1, you mustn't eat. Yes. Number 2, you mustn't listen to the teacher. Yes or no? No. Number 3, you mustn't be quiet. Yes or no? No. Very good. Number 4, you mustn't touch. Yes or no? Yes. Check your answer. A great job. Now we come to clutter of the lesson. Choose must and mustn't. First of all, I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that we usually use the effective verb must to express necessity. If it is necessary for you to do something, you can say, I must, we must. For example, we must obey Allah, the Almighty, and His Prophet Muhammad, may peace and the blessing of Allah be upon him. يعني الأمر اللي لازم نعمله تبقى must. But mustn't is used to express prohibition. If you are not allowed to do something, you can say you mustn't. For example, you mustn't park your car here. It is not a parking area. يعني الشيء الممنوع, which will be against the law or religion, or what we can't do. We can express it by using the effective verb mustn't. Okay? Now, we come to do this exercise. You must or mustn't eat and drink. Number 2, you must or mustn't be quiet. The right answer is you must be quiet. Very good. Number 3, you must or mustn't take photo. You mustn't. Very good. Number 4, you must or mustn't listen to your teacher. You must. You must listen to your teacher. Number 5, you must or mustn't throw rubbish. You mustn't throw rubbish in the place. Okay. Must. Okay. Number 1, mustn't. Number 2, must. Number 3, mustn't. Number 4, must. Number 5, mustn't. Very good. Thank you very much. Now we come to our world part 2. Pupils book page 49 and workbook page 46. What do you expect we are going to study today? In other words, what are the objectives of the lesson? We are going to make a revision for it. This can be shortened in the following point. Express obligation and prohibition using must and mustn't correctly. Number 2, respond to details in short simple sentences correctly. Number 3, describe pictures using must or mustn't correctly. Number 4, write some simple sentences to express obligation and prohibition using must or mustn't correctly. Now we come to objective number 1, which is to express obligation and prohibition using must or mustn't correctly. Activity number 4, pupils book page 49. Look at the pictures. You can say you must sit properly. يجب أن تجلس بشكل صحيح. You must raise your hand to speak. يجب أن ترفع يدك لتتكلم. You must keep your classroom clean. يجب أن تحافظ على نظافة الصف. You mustn't eat in the classroom. يجب ألا تأكل في الفصل الدراسي. You mustn't run. أيضا لا تجري. يجب ألا تجري في الصف. Okay. Now we come to do affirmative assessment. Listen to the 3 dialogues and the text, and then choose your answer. Okay?
4. Listen to 3 dialogues and tick. Then check your answers with a partner. 1. You mustn't talk to your friends when you're at the library.
Okay, Mum.
And you mustn't run.
Of course not. Thank you, Mum.
2.
Excuse me, you mustn't eat in the library.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I drink some water?
Water? No, you can't. You mustn't drink water in the library.
Okay, thank you.
3.
Oh no! Look at the park. It's very dirty.
Yes, it is. We mustn't throw rubbish in the park.
That's right. We must throw rubbish in the rubbish bin.
Very good. After listening to the CD player, let me check your answer. The right answer, you mustn't run. Number 2, you mustn't drink in the library or eat. Number 3, we mustn't throw rubbish in the park. Very good. Now we come to objective number 2, which is to respond to details in short simple sentences correctly. Activity number 5, pupils book page 49. Working groups, you can do it as a homework. You can write sentences using the defective verbs must and mustn't. For example, we must respect our teacher. We must listen to the teacher all the time. About mustn't, you can say, we mustn't speak in the classroom. We mustn't run in the classroom. We mustn't eat or drink in the classroom, and so on. You can do it as a homework. Now we come to objective number 3, which is to describe pictures using the effective verbs must and mustn't correctly. Activity number 3, workbook page 46, and activity number 4, workbook page 46. Look at the pictures. Listen to your teacher. What can you say? We or you must listen to your teacher. Okay. Number 2, feed the animals. We must or mustn't? You mustn't. You mustn't feed the animals. Very good. Throw rubbish in the rubbish bin. Must or mustn't? Must. You must throw rubbish in the rubbish bin. This is the right answer. Now we come to do affirmative assessment, activity number 4, workbook page 46. Listen and the number. Okay. Write some simple sentences to express obligation and prohibition. Activity using must or mustn't correctly. Activity number 5, workbook page 46. For example, I must follow the rules. I must listen to the teacher. Number 3, I mustn't eat in the classroom. I mustn't run in the classroom. Now we come to closure of the lesson. Look and write, use must and mustn't. Number 1, you mustn't throw rubbish in the park. Number 2, you must or mustn't in a book shop. طبعا الجواب you mustn't eat or drink in a bookshop. Number 3, you must or mustn't, the baby is sleeping. طبعا you must be quiet, the baby is sleeping. Number 4, you بعدين فراغ must or mustn't in the museum. You mustn't take photos in the museum. A great job. Thank you very much and goodbye.